the mysterious Sprinter. Our word, Jonathan Rosansky, is an asexual, we mean infertile, self-admitted asperger that reviews cartoons on the internet. Thank heavens that his lack of testicles prevents him from reproducing, because he's a living embodiment of the aphorism, those who cannot do, teach. His entertainment value for trolls isn't high, because he has an especially humorous or original style, or the fact that he rips about cartoons made for 5 to 12-year-olds, but because he is dull as shit and is boring to everyone. He thinks that people should not make shows because of his shit sense of humor. He doesn't review kids' cartoons because he raises children or has written a successful TV show himself, but because he still identifies with a target audience. Furthermore, he pretends to fight for the quality of kid shows and simultaneously loves fart and masturbation jokes. Some people's talent seems to lie in pretending that the world gives a crap about their opinion, and as Sprinter has admitted, reviewing cartoons is the only thing he's really good at. Unsurprisingly, he has been bullied very often in school and is generally seen as a mistake by his parents, and because of that, he thinks he's a special snowflake. What annoys him the most is they don't accept reviewing as a career. Sprinter is generally egocentric and not above giving his fanboys a page of 87 random facts about me on DeviantArt. It should also be noted that his abusive childhood causes him to get extremely butthurt whenever any cartoon episode has abuse as a main theme, especially Family Guy. He refuses to further his education because he hated school and reads somewhere that 1 out of 5 college students are raped and slashed or assaulted on campus. Unsurprisingly, he is oblivious to the fact that children should watch as few cartoons as possible, but apparently that isn't the way he was raised. Instead, he has every single sponge of an MLP season on DVD. A common hypothesis is that his obsession with ranting about children's cartoons stems from his abusive childhood and inability to grow up. He likes to yell at cartoons. A coping mechanism suggested by his therapist. He first got into reviewing episodes of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, in order to prove himself to the Brony community. He later started reviewing episodes of his all-time favorite show, SpongeBob SquarePants, but he hates the new episodes because they're too edgy for the life lessons he learns from MLP. Moreover, these videos are a big chunk of his view count on YouTube and why some people are his lipsticks in the first place. He decided to review episodes of shows that 90s kids hate and occasionally bad animated movies that doesn't have plot. He at first called the show infamous animation, but as it turns out that most of the crap he reviews aren't really that infamous to people who don't watch cartoons, so he changed it to animated atrocity so he could describe his show more fittingly. Most people are too much of an ignorant jackass to know that he's actually a rip-off of the nostalgia critic. But unlike the irate gamer, he gets off scot-free as people actually think he is a creative artist. He also has over 100,000 drones of random users that subscribe to him on his YouTube channel. If you don't agree with him, his fan-fags will suspect that you are a kid that doesn't appreciate good animation or follow story-rich plot like the shows he watches that were mainly designed for children. All of his fans also get very butthurt when you criticize him or call him out on his bullshit. His predominant claim is that Nick doesn't put children first, including himself, because they allowed Breadwinners to be a series with him and his various followers believing it, destroys kids' brains, and talks down to them, not like the equally insane Ren and Stimpy or half of Nick Jr.'s programming. Nope. and that we failed as a species for allowing it, and everything else by Nick, to exist. At the same time, he can't explain why children shouldn't enjoy cheap jokes when he himself enjoyed masturbation jokes at the age of 16 and still has an odd fascination with toilet humor. Therefore, his argument stands between cartoons have to be deep and meaningful if he doesn't get the humor, and cartoons are good as long as they make you laugh if he gets it. Before becoming the faggot he is today, Mr. Enter was born in Massachusetts in some town that no one cares about. He claims to have been abused by his parents and pepper sprayed by some bullies, but so far, nobody has actually proven this. Before starting to moan about the garbage the youth of America views on television, Jonathan used to be a Let's Player called Britannia. He had the idea of playing every single game mentioned in 1001 video games you must play before you die but gave up shortly after, as it turned out you had to play games that weren't about ponies or fucking your dog. His most famous LPS featured him raging about Donkey Kong and Spyro the Dragon. He failed to stay alive repeatedly, and in general, had problems concentrating on two things at a time, commenting and playing. So he got rid of the name Britannia and got himself a much more edgy name, in the hopes to get more 11-year-olds to watch his crap, and he now reviews cartoons, in which he tries to embarrass the writers instead of himself, or so he thinks. It should also be noted that he named his dog after the retarded starfish from SpongeBob. It's an action he regrets to this day. Animated Atrocities. Animated Atrocities is a review series that has in review animated children's shows that he considers dead. Surprisingly, it was a big hit and decided he was going to make a series of him criticizing anything that isn't made in the 90s. Most of the time, he just goes after SpongeBob episodes that were made after the movie, because according to him, any episode that was made after the movie sucks. When he talks about SpongeBob, he likes to use the terms modern classic SpongeBob as if he was talking about Picasso. The voice he puts on in his reviews is also pretentious and stuck up. It's clear that he is putting this voice on to make people think that he is sophisticated and intelligent, when in reality he is just pedantic. He also goes after all of the My Little Pony predecessors to My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic a lot too, as they have ugly designs, and since they're not thin, they're shit. Also, he's still planning on spewing out more SpongeBob and Family Guy reviews out of his vagina. He acts like a complete dick if you disagree with him due to his Asperger's syndrome. All of the episodes, up until the Powerpuff Girls Town and out, were originally called Infamous Animation, but someone else on Yelp by the name Shigujin Zero already had that name. What he fails to realize is that someone else on Yelp by the name Big X already used a similar name, Animated Atrocity, where that user already reviewed Brother Bear, Hoodwinked, and an Aladdin ripoff from 1993 on his show. He also has a Patreon where he begs people with actual jobs to give him their hard-earned and well-deserved money so he can make more of his shitty reviews. He's reached numbers in the thousands, which is ridiculous, because his videos look like they cost barely anything to make. He uses Windows Movie Maker, a freeware program, and ripped DVD footage, and most of the films he wants to review are several years old and can probably be bought at Walmart for about $5, $15. The quality of his videos is still mediocre at best. His videos mostly repeat one sequence over and over again and are full of elementary mistakes such as audio cutting out too early. The question remains, where does the money go? We better not ask. It is worth noted that the editing in his videos are top-notch either. There are many audio glitches and cut-off sentences which made it into the final cut. And he often loops footage of the same clip over and over for no reason. Nobody is paying attention. Enter. You can just cut to whatever the hell you want and nobody would even notice. These problems could all be fixed in a matter of seconds. However, Enter overlooks them because he does not give a solitary shit about the quality of his videos. His most vile animated atrocity reviews are of Red Seeks Help and Streams of Silence, Story of Brenda Q. He claims that the former, which was actually considered good prior to Enter's review, has too much disturbing content, actually just some basic cartoonish violence and insects getting hurt, and that it will destroy all open innocence. He claims the latter made the real-world issue of abuse even worse, apparently because it takes away sympathy from real victims of abuse, by creating a fictional one or some stupid shit like that. Kind of like that time he claimed he got depression from putting your hoof down and garnered sympathy from his idiot fans that would be better spent on people with actual depression. The hypocrisy is strong with this one. He also acts like he's an expert on how to handle abuse, even though people have different ways of coping with abuse, and he can't even handle simple trolling. He also shoots down all of Family Guy's attempts to address the issue, even when they're actually making a fair point. Here's someone who actually has dealt with abuse. Give him what for. In his 100th atrocity review, he took on the Drawn Together movie, and it was more or less the same as every other review, only cranked up to 11. It basically has the same maturity and volume as a Cinema 6 video, but without the justification of being made by a 10-year-old boy. The whole thing is a mess, mostly consisting of claiming prologues never work, whining about Tara Strong swearing and losing her Twilight Sparkle voice, even though this came first, bitching about Flash, though admittedly the movie does look weird compared to the series. Oh, and Seth MacFarlane unfunny. Ooh, real original. Hated on Waldorf for showing his penis, advocating censorship, irrelevant bitching about SpongeBob, taking something that repeatedly claims it has no point and doesn't need one completely seriously, failing to realize he is not the intended audience for the film, and finally declaring that the movie fails at comedy because it broke the rules when there actually aren't any rules to comedy, and that humor is subjective, which is basically the main reason he's such an awful reviewer. It's so bad, some of his fans actually gave up on him, though some of them started hating on Drawn Together. Rather humorously, he compares the show negatively to South Park, and shows a clip from the episode Safe Space, which is making fun of people exactly like him. Sadly, after the war he went through, he has not considered retiring. Apparently, he has never heard of the term, don't like, don't watch. Did we also mention that the man-child fucking despises modern SpongeBob and Family Guy? What makes him butthurt? Mean-spiritedness, grotesque things, people who don't worship him, asking him if he smokes weed, telling him that the infamous Chris Chandler is both a brony and a spy as well, touching newspaper, drool, honesty, anything that even remotely brings joy or happiness to another person, college, education in general, teachers, his parents, we feel bad for them. Any drink that isn't soda, doing research for reviews, art styles that look gross, even pink-goat banana cricket, which has very detailed backgrounds, varied designs, and pretty much more creativity put into its art style than Adventure Time, identifying with bullied cartoon characters. What happens more often than he admits? continuity errors, even in cartoons with minimal regards to continuity, people being negative towards My Little Pony. Fun fact, a surprisingly high amount of bronies have Asperger's, telling him that the world is not fucked up because today's cartoons are bad. Suggesting him to go outside and breathe some fresh air, suggesting that he should actually do something with the life he has been given, telling him that cartoons are not motherfucking serious business, especially those that fall under comedy. Asking him to suck your dick, or any mention of love in general, telling him how funny he looked when he yelled at his computer, suggesting him to read a good book instead. Asking who pooped in the peanut barrel, asking if he was the one who pooped in the peanut barrel, touching his beard. Roger Ebert, because he gave both Cars 2 and 1031/2 stars and he thought that video games would never be a true form of art. And Pizza, because he likes Teen Titans Go, Home of the Range, Freddy Got Fingered, and the 2014 Powerpuff Girls special. Other critics that are Dead Walker, School, Sports and Exercise, telling him to get a real job instead of begging freedom of speech, except his free thinking. Anything that has the names of Zeus Servus, Akka the Evil King of Atlantis, and Casey Alexander on them. Nickelodeon. Johnny Bravo. Anyone who works for Nickelodeon. King of the Hill, especially its depictions of Canadians and kidnapping of Mexican girls. Brian Griffin. Quagmire. Any episode of any show with themes of abuse in relationships, telling him he should at least try to find some positive qualities in the episodes he reviews, telling him he needs to calm down and stop freaking out over small trivial things. Sanjay and Greg, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Breadwinners, Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, and anything his name is attached to Teen Titans Go, for not being like the original show / or Young Justice, Johnny Test, Disney's Cars and Planes, Fairly Odd Parents, Viacom, Fox, Nickelodeon, Copyright, Cartoon Freak 666, Jimbo 17, Shoulda, SpongeBob 1, and Those Luigi, 6 guys who got sick of his shit. Claymore, another guy who got sick of his shit and makes commentary videos on him. A lot of interbots frequently tell him he's immature and can't handle an opinion. Flash Sentry, Charlotte Fullerton, Meriwether Williams, Sean Sharmutz, Derek Iverson, John Griffaluzzi. Ironically, Enter is almost exactly like John K. The main difference being John actually had talent. Mocking critics. Anyone who has the balls to argue with his Fanboys Canada, even though that's where his precious MLP is made, and he gets extremely offended when any show makes fun of Canada, Texas. No, not the SpongeBob episode fucked her, incest jokes. Anything made on a low budget, especially 12 ounces, mouse, rednecks, any element he considers to be a cliché, like a stereotypical nerd character, or an old man acting like a teenager. References in cartoons he doesn't get references, in cartoons others may not get dog anuses. Mary Sue's, even though his own character Sally is arguably one. People who actually do things with their lives instead of bitching about kid shows. The great and powerful Trixie, Sophisto's pony Wayfu he keeps in his bed. Hank Hill, Peggy Hill, Lois from Malcolm in the middle. Anyone who doesn't agree with him, anything that anyone else finds funny. Patrick Starr, Richard Purcell, Paul Tippett, even though he's worked on SpongeBob since season 1. Ren and Stimpy, adult party cartoon, which he called Pure Evil for showing some animated insects being killed in Red Seek's help mega babies. Old people, any MLP predecessors to Finn, Barbara Studios because he's jealous that he came up with Squidward torture porn before he did. Direct-to-video sequels. Puppy in My Pocket. Drawn Together, which he claims is the worst thing in existence for daring to suggest that offensive vulgar humor doesn't need to have a point shock humor. Pixel Pinky, saying it's for kids. Saying trolling and cyberbullying are actually different things. Racism and racist jokes. Sex and sexual jokes. Hee Puffy Amy Yubi Show. Kirby right back at ya. Book adaptations. Flash animation, even though that's what his precious MLP is made with. Anyone who disagrees with his fanboys yelps at poop. Not surprisingly, a few of his fanboys who are white TV makers featured him in their poops, which suck as a result. Hobbies that don't include sitting on his ass and watching cartoons. He's the executives who look for talent on the internet. Any show that doesn't have a perfect moral, he is completely fucking obsessed with morals. Spur of the Dragon, Cleveland Brown, The Cleveland Show, Pickle and Peanut, Pig Goat Banana Cricket, Where the Dead Go to Die, which he refuses to review to this day. Poop and Fart Jokes, Rocket Power, Alan Gregory, Bugsy, Adult Swim, except for Rick and Morty, which is an R-rated show anyway. Postmodernism, loud or repetitive noises, flashing colors, sudden twist endings, possibly James Arnold Taylor, successful people, making fun of homosexuality, jokes about AIDS and births, anything meant to be disturbing or gross. Anyone who has a sense of humor, as you can clearly see, Enter has no sense of humor at all. Anyone who likes the shows he reviews, trolling in general, imitation anime, cartoons, comparing anime with cartoons, asking him to review anime, asking him to review anything, putting your hoof down, calling him out on his hypocrisy. Pluck from Chicken Little, as well as Chicken Little in general, probably the movie The Power of One, telling people like him to STFU and accept that something is the way it is, that is. Teen Titans goes, let's get serious in Return of Slade, people defending anything he doesn't like. This is why he hates Drawn Together, telling him to shave his disgusting neck beard, telling him Growing Around has no chance of being televised, questioning him about the unclear backstory / or unfortunate implications of Growing Around, being told he needs to grow up, being told internet critic is not a real job, and probably edgy stuff. Maybe. P.S. All of his fanboys will defend most of this with his Asperger syndrome or his abusive childhood, none of which are valid excuses. Other series, Admirable Animation Show, where he says that his precious childhood shows is better than the brain-rotting garbage modern shows. Even though the title, Admirable Animation, suggests that this video series might be positive, he still sounds as bitchy and cynical as ever in it. MLP Review Show, where he reviews MLP to those who give a fuck. Debates a Column Project, where he debates other artists who watch animation for children well into their 20s, like PIEGUIRULZ, who care enough to defend their favorite episodes of SpongeBob and shit on the ones they hate. 1001 Animations to See Before You Die, a Diva-centric series, where he determines what kind of animation is kosher by his standards. He plans after a while to actually publish it into a book, and it's sure to be a hit with all of the children out there. Unfortunately, he's likely to get sued by the creators of the real 1001 Before You Die series. He appeared on an episode of Girl 001's Brony discussion series, bitching about people being negative towards the show and taking a dump all over the new episodes. The pony version of himself had a ginger neckbeard. SRS. Screwing around a rip off a Disney short about kids being adults that had potential, and we should be pissed at it shit. He has produced 3 episodes in the form of a fanfic. He's writing fanfiction for a Disney short that aired in between commercials that no one remembers. Yes, his fanboys also support and kiss his ass while reviewing it, although in reality it's almost as bland, if not more, than the cartoon short he's ripping off. Not to mention the plots are generic and the whole show is bottom of the barrel crap that he criticizes modern cartoons of nowadays, yet he still pushes on hoping to get his precious show aired. His magnum opus will never be released because everything about it is absolutely terrible. When talking about growing around, Enter talks about all the characters as if they are brilliant. However, they are all bland, two dipshits with no creativity or effort put into them whatsoever. However, if by some miracle growing around is actually put on mainstream television, then it will get ratings way below any of the cartoons he reviews, and Mr. Enter will spend every hour that God sends to tell reviewers that growing around is amazing. Advice videos he made advice journals in the past, but now he's doing videos. He assumes that someone who has never made a cartoon before he ODVIOUSLY knows how it's done, and those people at Nickelodeon who do it for a day job don't know jack shit. His first video was about dealing with trolls, his spawn. Many people do on Enter follow in his footsteps and make bitchy criticisms about animations because he uploaded a frame for other people to make animated atrocities title cards, and it's now all over Enter. The people who do this most likely think they are as good as their precious god and savior of a critic, which is actually true, considering he's a basement-dwelling shit. All of his brony fanboys can't respect it whenever someone likes something that they don't like. They even make 1-2 episodes that he's already done, like A Californieri or The Splinter. They also tend to do animated movies that the nostalgia critic already reviewed. He also had his fans stamp the account of a guy on TV Tropes named Yoda who posted comments of agreement on negative reviews of Enter's work, and every negative review has been flagged by his butt-fucked fanboys. It got to the point where Yoda had to abandon his account, and Enter had absolutely no repercussions about it, claiming the troper was playing the victim. On the subject of TV tropes, his page was once nothing but a hug box that praised him, though recently, with the addition of wallpaper and devoting moment pages, it seems they finally started to see through his crap. One of his fanboys went so far in order to soothe his anus, so he thought it was a great idea to blank this article and replace it, because it had allegedly revealed personal information as a cover-up to make it more favorable to this faggot. However, it got reverted in an instant, and he cried to his idol Steve I Entered about it, while nobody gave a fuck shortly after. Enter's biggest fanboys, by far and loyal slaves, are two Yeltsin and Steve I Entered users named Guy 34, Aka Ernie Grouse, and Joe Walker 123. Both of them follow Enter's behavior exactly, and make it widely known at every opportunity how much they worship the idiot. The two slaves constantly write hate, fill journals about anyone who has the balls to criticize Enter, and they make the same type of shitty video reviews on Yeltsin full of childish angry screaming about trivial shit. Both Guy 34 and Joe Walker 123 can never take any sort of criticism, and will go completely apeshit if anyone dares dislike or disagree with them. They do blame everyone else for all their own problems and are massive hypocrites because they act like blocking people is a cowardly crime against humanity. Yet the two faggots will block anyone who has the balls to disagree with them, and they will, of course, write hate speech about those brave souls and start year-long commentary wars against them. The overly aggressive shitfuss named John Walker 123 is notable for literally stalking the YouTube channels of people who disagree with Enter and writing embarrassing journals about them on DeFi Enter for ridiculous reasons, such as liking certain shows Enter hates. He literally patrols the internet every day to keep a close watch for anyone who disagrees with Renter. That really shows how much of a white knight he is. The scary-looking Nazi known as Living Guy 34 is notable because he used to have his own special page on this encyclopedia. But one day, when he was patrolling the internet, as usual, he found it and threatened to call 911 unless it was deleted. We are not surprised that Buxert Printer fanboy would do that. This Living Guy 34 idiot has an even worse attitude towards people who disagree with him than Enter does. No one ever dares to say anything expressing disapproval of IG-34, because the asshole will flip shit upon seeing it and do whatever he can to destroy his opponents and make them look bad. He's a total censorship-obsessed Nazi. We encourage you to follow him out as much as possible just to teach him the importance of learning to accept criticism. And did I mention Illuminati 34 and his Wanker 123 both hate Encyclopedia Informatica for no apparent reason and bitch about it all the time? Probably because this is one of the few websites with the balls to criticize their idol Enter. Another famous Enter fanboy is someone on the outside named Zero Feet Good, who just might be worse than the two assholes mentioned above. And then there's this white knight from DeFi Enter known as the Missing Mystery, who is in denial of being an Interbot, and also happens to white knight for Zero Feet Good and another Interfag known as Common Jack, who is some dumb drone with a shitty mic. Another thing about the Missing Mystery is that she has a hate boner for Family Guy and Blake Claymore and thinks that Family Guy sucks as a fact. Oh, and there's her butt buddy known as Theoric 4270. But back to Mr. Enter because this article is SUPPOSE to be about Enter and not some bitch with a love for some artist named Christopher Art. Worse yet, Enter's influence can be seen in the YouTube poop community now. It used to be good, but now some people are turning them into actual poop by including references to Enter's videos and splicing in clips of him saying stupid shit. No matter how funny the rest of the poop is, a reference to Enter will murder its slick utility. White Heat Makers infamous for being Enter fanboys are Cartoon Lover 98 and Coolcat 01100. As you can probably guess, as soon as they published their videos that included Enter references, all Enter's fanboys were ecstatic about it and nearly all the comments on those White Heat videos relate to him. Remember it was mentioned above that Enter hates it? Well, the concept of a humorless asshole like him being featured positively in those otherwise funny videos is an oxymoron. Contrast these references to those made by Rester of Randomness and Super Suck 64, who are well aware of Enter's bullshit and have negatively made fun of him in their poops. It's shocking that any White Heat makers, most of whom actually have a sense of humor, can possibly like Enter shit at all. Thankfully, after they referenced the asshole in their videos, Coolcat 01100 and Cartoon Lover 98 lost hundreds of subscribers, and tons of people stopped watching it entirely. Most people would rather watch Hotel Mario poops from 2007 than a new poop that features Enter. At the very least, Cartoon Lover 98 agrees that Entard has a shitty fanbase. children's cartoons. Serious business. Enters hypocrisy and other DC. Like most online critics, Enter is quite the hypocrite when it comes to criticism. He'll happily tear any given animation to shreds, but if anyone so much as the ARES disagree with him, he'll burst into tears and his white knights will treat you worse than a murderer because he has Asperger's. The text on the site is a perfect example. He claims to constantly improve his videos and compares his review of One Course Meal with his top 10 Squidward torture porns to spare your time. Their supposed difference in quality is non-existent. Interestingly, he claims that the critic obviously doesn't know how hard it is to make reviews and therefore shouldn't complain. In addition, in his review of Twilight's Kingdom, he makes a point that nitpicking and exaggerated flaws in anything is bad. Except that's exactly what he does in his atrocity reviews. He also claims to hold old Nick shows from the 90s to the same standards as current ones, but has failed to back it up. As mentioned earlier, he really loves fart jokes. Only twice has he done an animated atrocity on an old Nick show, and even then, they're nowhere near as long as his 10 to 15-minute reviews of modern shows, and he spends most of his Nickelodeon nuts bitching about how it used to be so much better, to the point that he refuses to classify it as a kid's channel due to its programming. Speaking of standards, just what does Renter hold his shows up to anyway? How does he judge continuity for shows that lack it? One of the largest examples of this is during the Patrick Suprit countdown, where Renter placed an episode at the top because of one line. He flipped his shit over one line and claimed it covered all SpongeBob canon because... Yeah, I don't know. He admitted that it's okay for a show to not feature continuity between episodes or some shit like that, and doesn't explain since he assumes that a Saturday morning cartoon has continuity, why the city doesn't remain crushed, burned, and slashed or destroyed, how Mr. Krabs got his body back, and most importantly, how Fred is still walking. Yet, he claims that one line of dialogue applies to an entire 15-year-long series. To comment this with his own words, look at the side, get a fucking hobby. Apparently, it doesn't cross his mind that children, the network's target audience, enjoy it and mix other programming, and that times and tastes have changed since he was a kid. He is also SHOCKED to discover that Breadwinners was the #1 kid show in its 5th week. EXASPERATED that the show was popular with its target audience, and using it as evidence that Nick is literally Hitler. This made him furious at the fact that people are allowed to enjoy things that he does not like. He also bitches and moans about the fact that Nick looks for talent on the internet and doesn't pick up quality programming that comes straight to its door, like the modifiers, even though he'd probably be calling it an atrocity if it were picked up. To make a long story short, Enter has apparently never heard of something called a target audience. He also claims Ren and Stimpy, a 90s show, which he doesn't hate, did toilet humor better than Sanjay and Craig, a recent show, but doesn't really elaborate on how. He also likes to call his service Casey Alexander, Sean Charlottes, Richard Purcell, and Eric Iverson for excuses for human beings just because they wrote for the new SpongeBob episodes. But what he fails to realize is that 3 of those people also worked on his precious Holy Seasons 1, 3 of SpongeBob and other shows he likes. Furthermore, he's far kinder to Aaron Stringer and Mr. Lawrence, despite their hit and miss track records. He also treats people like Seth MacFarlane, everyone at Nickelodeon, the Teen Titans Go! Writers, or Charlotte Fullerton as being inferior beings to himself just because they wrote episodes that weren't up to his standards. In fact, in his Pet Sitter Pat review, he showed snippets of Casey's Twitter where he reveals his fondness of a Californieri while insults him. His fans later invaded Casey's Twitter and made several mean tweets at his expense, all for writing some fucking cartoon episodes that one man-child didn't like. He later remade some of his videos that called out Casey, removing the offending comments, as well as deleting the old videos in an attempt to cover his ass, and some of his friends want the old versions back because they like seeing innocent people get harassed. In his re-review of Pet Sitter Pat, he told his fanboys to stop harassing the writers, but that was obviously a lie because the man-child then stated that his opinion of the episode and the writers hasn't changed. This proves that he hasn't learned his lesson and probably never will. If that's not enough, one of Renter's fanboys recently started a petition on Tumblr to harass the writers of Teen Titans Go! Until they kill themselves. Seriously, kill themselves. Even if TTG isn't the best show, bullying the writers to the point of suicide is going way too far, and it's possibly illegal. Whether this cruel stuff happens or not, the blood is on Enter's hands. He and many of his fans also call Nick hypocrites for firing John Crickfaluzzi for making Ren and Stimpy too violent and letting Casey / Zeus / etc. keep their jobs. Never mind that John constantly missed deadlines was a giant asshole, which the SpongeBob writers have yet to demonstrate, and that Enter hosted an animated atrocity lighting at Crickfaluzzi's dick for a particular episode made for Spike TV's canned adult animation block years after he was canned from Nickelodeon. Spoilers, if Enter didn't like the unappeasable stuff he is for it not appeasing his tastes. In addition, his bitching about TV networks looking for talent on the internet is hypocritical itself, as he wants to pitch his own show, Growing Around, to a TV network, and he could be considered as internet talent. However, nobody is going to pick up his show, because it's a stupid ripoff of a Disney short he claims had potential. Despite the fact that he bitches about fart jokes all the time in his atrocity reviews, one of his Growing Around scripts, like Pretty Pony, yes, that's really the name, had some fart jokes in it as well. As of February 9, 2015, he updated it in order to cover his ass from people rightfully calling him a hypocrite. There's also the fact that Growing Around is some of the laziest, blandest, most generic, most unoriginal prank ever conjured by the human mind. Maybe even more so than the shows he whines about all the time. Enter, however, still thinks that his show will be amazing and that children will love him. But however, all the lackluster writing that he puts into fucking around won't do him any decency. The show isn't going to be picked up by Disney anytime soon, giving Enter a lot more time to cry over breadwinners. He also hates when cartoons play abuse for laughs, especially Family Guy, yet in his fairly odd review, he portrays a Nickelodeon executive as an abusive parent for a cheap laugh. So, animal/domestic abuse ticks him off, but child abuse is fine. He also says music is subjective, but comedy isn't. He also bitches about people nitpicking Finn, yet he nitpicks everything he hates. He also thought the Go-to-Make movie was a professional work because its page said it had a theatrical release and a huge budget. And as we all know, the internet and EVE are lies. his constant focus on the negative suggests a severe case of masochism, especially if you consider the vast amount of free time he spends to watch, review, and upload said cartoons. Much free time, indeed. Furthermore, he named his own pet after a moronic starfish and never considered to change this. It seems like he needs kid shows to feel smarter than he actually is. The best word to describe this is hypocrite. However, we highly encourage you to find out for yourself. He also recently made a video stating that he doesn't like getting requests. How did he approach this, you may ask? By reviewing an episode of a show he got a lot of requests for, and he spent most of it ranting about how he doesn't like requests, instead of, ignoring the requests. On top of that, one of the comments on that video was saying that Enter's degraded in quality and that he can't take criticism, and asking why he didn't just ignore the requests. Enter's response was basically because people requested it, and he ignored the rest of the comment, further proving that he can't take criticism. In one of his newest videos, Enter reached about 12 ounces. Mouse, claiming its animation style and voice acting had no effort put in at all. What he fails to realize, or what he probably refuses to acknowledge, is that the show is designed to look badly drawn on purpose for dramatic effect. The creators used the style of animation because they thought it looked funny, not because they were lazy. According to Enter, any visual styles that don't look extremely expensive are garbage. And I'm pretty sure that it's the quality of the show's substance that really matters, not the visual style. He also fails to notice that the show has an in-depth plot that even a moron could pick up if they actually watch the show from beginning to end. About the lazy voice acting, the show's dialogue is based on improv and has no real script. There are also some really good jokes in the dialogue that Enter fails to pick up on because he has no sense of humor. Another show on Adult Swim that was famous for using improv and low-budget animation was Old Movies, which was widely acclaimed by critics, but Enter would almost certainly hate it if he knew about it. Let's pray he never finds out. It should be noted that for someone who claims to promote media being appropriate for children and having good morality, Enter absolutely LOVES angrily dropping F-bombs every other word and teaching his viewers unhelpful lessons about life that sound completely ignorant due to his warped view on reality. Not to mention that his obsession with morals and belief that breadwinners and Teen Titans Joe will turn kids into brainwashed retards suggests that he believes children are idiots who will believe anything they see or hear on TV, and as such only wants them to hear what he wants them to. Now who would you rather have deciding what kids should watch? The parents, or some arrogant, hypercritical, potty-mouthed grandchild with even less respect for them than those shows allegedly have? Or hypocrisy? The peak of irony was reached when he reviewed his never-finished self-made game, ETIC the humorous RPG, which can be watched on Yeltsin. Quote from episode 1, "For once I can't yell at the writer for doing something stupid. What stupidity exactly? Well, look at this humorous dialogue, minute 20, inside a cave. Player, what are you doing here? Oh man, masturbating." Note the lessons Renter after reading this in his Let's Play, and compare this to his positions in animated atrocities. How highbrow his grandchilds are, how much taste he has. But if you think about it, the very same person absolutely loves fart jokes. Unsurprisingly, he got dissed by his own character in the end. Mabra Studios. Besides the nostalgia critic, Brinker probably takes some of his inspirations from this Yeltsin bootmaker. In fact, this is where he got the phrase Squidward torture porn from, and his idiot fanboys think that Brinker was the creator of the phrase. Whenever he does a SpongeBob episode, he often goes after ones that Mabra Studios already reviewed in both of his countdowns and for the most part have the same criticisms, despite the fact that he doesn't review anything that Nostalgia Critic or Jontron already covered. Obviously, the SpongeBob videos by Mabra Studios are infinitely better than Brinker shit, because Mabra Studios actually has a sense of humor and states his arguments maturely. Ever since then, Mysterious Brinker and Mabra Studios have been enemies. Even though Mabra Studios created Squidward torture porn, Mysterious Brinker has more subscribers than him. Many suspect that this rivalry continues to this day, because Mabra Studios creates videos that are made in Windows Movie Maker, fueling enemy into a jealous rage. What's really unfair is that Mabra Studios' SpongeBob videos have been removed by Viacom, while Brinker's shitty videos are still up, which gives Enter's fanboys the false impression that Enter is the hero who made the world aware of bad episodes, when Mabros was obviously that hero. Even then, Mabros deleted his worst SpongeBob episodes videos because they were so fucking stupid, while Enter has yet to get this through his thick skull. Copyright claims. Not even someone as special as Mr. Enter is safe from copyright. One of the earliest instances was Shout Factory taking down one of his pony videos. Even though Shout technically doesn't have the rights to do that, that's Hasbro's job. Shout only puts the show on DVD. Much later, somebody at Viacom saw his Breadwinner's review and decided it was the biggest bunch of bullshit they had ever seen. Wanting to protect their company from unfair criticisms, Viacom filed a copyright claim and the video was removed, along with Legal Taxi's negative but still miles better than Enter's review of Breadwinners. Enter later got it put back up because it falls under fair use as a review, while Legal Taxis is still down. Later, Fox decided they were sick of his bullshit and took down his Vimeo account, where he posts his reviews of Family Guy, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, and Alan Gregory, because Fox would be able to find it easier on the outside. Enter has yet to get it taken care of, but for now, everyone is thankful that they don't have to listen to him bitch about Fox, since his reviews of their shows are the only thing worse than the shows themselves. All back up. Viacom struck back once again with having several of his most popular videos, all SpongeBob related of course, taken down. His channel as of January 12th, 2015 has been completely terminated from Yeltsin as a result of these copyright claims. Unfortunately, the grandchild got his Yeltsin page back by some miraculous chance. On the flip side, the video evidence of his faggotry can be displayed on ED again. We all are. I wish he would die already and get the hell off the internet. He keeps violating copyright laws over and over again, but STI won't get terminated. He must be a hacker. We urge all of you to report all his videos to every agency possible and try to get him terminated for copyright infringement. Stuff he's stolen from other reviewers. Squidward torture porn from Mabra Studios. Nostalgia Critics memes. Repeating the same clip over and over. Bitching and moaning. Countdowns. Reviewing many of the same shows Pan Pizza, aka Regal Taxi, already reviewed, including The Nut Shack. Lingo from TV tropes. Debated kid shows. Not surprisingly, Enter hates some pre-movie episodes of SpongeBob. I'm with Stupid was a positively reviewed episode that most people really liked, but Enter hates it for what reason? Take a guess. He says it's annoying and mean, spirited like he does with everything. And obviously all his fanboys soon followed that lame opinion and started hating the episode too. Enter has managed to turn so many people against previously widely liked episodes of cartoons, like Oh Canada, that it's gotten to the point where he has entire debates against his friends to shove his twisted biased opinion in that so-called friend's face while refusing to listen to that person's perspective. And as per usual, don't you D-A-R-E disagree with him or have your own opinions in the matter, you must A-G-R-E-E with everything Enter says in his debate or you are a worthless human being. Ever since Enter started hating this episode, anyone who says positive things about it is certain to get harassed on Levi Entered by the assholes fanboys such as Guy34 and Joan Walker 123. It's already pretty strange to debate a kid's cartoon. A kid's cartoon? Serious business, serious faces.